could have killed somebody else. Like him could have killed Ryan. Like fuck Ryan, him could have killed Ryan. Like him could have make. Alright. Today we are watch. I found everything the boy set up, then forgot. By Jonathan. Just Jonathan, guys. Okay, me we hear him say.
The Boys finale had me like, damn, it's really over. I know the season's controversial, but it's an exaggeration to say that the finale was horrible. The final episode.
I'll make you some thoughts before, you know? So when you hear my thoughts from the video we do before on the Boys season finale and season 5 from when we do watch the video at day 4 yesterday. One of them did it. Yeah. So what me think is the whole show, they good. Season 5 though. Like they have things that they need to close up, like why Soldier Boy just dead. Apparently they're gonna set up a spin-off, I don't know about that. The Gen V people them never do nothing. We just have to say what everybody said, but that's what I saw. And that me realized don't watch the episode, like not even just the episode, like season 5, dog. Like me not, as me did say, me not think the season that bad, you know. The final episode did, you know, lackluster. But we're gonna hear all of the other things them where them supposedly lead up, build up, and them never do nothing with it.
Was a good episode to a very disappointing season overall.
Okay, wait, we'll check that out. Go back.
Damn,
go back
it's
too
really
much.
over. I know the season's controversial, but it's an exaggeration to say that the finale was horrible. The final episode was a good episode to a very disappointing.
Okay. So right, just so we have nice. People never like season 4 that much. Oh, he did better than the episode 7. Guys, okay. In a that bad. That mean I said the season of that bad.
Season overall. There were great moments sprinkled throughout, like A-Train's death, but other times it literally felt like watching an ad for Vought Rising and turn into the Soldier Boy show. That's
Them
definitely
one talk about this Vought Rising ad, and not even know if that show there. Oh wait, guys, may get a call. Me soon come. Alright, me come back. One of the bro then call me. Same day me now. But me will start this video for real. Get.
one thing I would have changed because they were setting him up to be important in the finale Soldier Boy show. That's definitely one thing I would have changed because they were setting him up to be important in the finale and then just forgot about him.
Why man never do nothing, dog? Like, me thinking that they in the final battle. Even though, like, I went Soldier Boy come season 3, season 3 him coming on the show, right? Think of season 3. So me think say them are gonna use him or make him do something like, but I guess them giving Chemical the power where him have kind of cancel him and say, oh, him not needed again or nothing like that. But come on, a soldier, him boy Soldier Boy, a Homelander father, you know, Homelander have issues and everything there. Like when the man did all that talk about, when him read the thing on the TV and say, yo, father, and and you see like him a crack. Like, come on. Them could have used him. Them could have do something with it, but I don't know the logistics or how the system or where them did have to pay for how much time them did have or this or that episode and them thing there. But them should have do something with him, dog. Them should have. Great actor too. Great actor. I remember his name Jensen. Something, dog. Great actor. Them should have used him up, dog. So them did like I'll make this new story with him. He's not new, but them did try like push like just one off like, oh, Homelander mother. Oh, this mother would have wanted. Never call him mother, but whatever him call her. Must be no say that she name. Firecracker she name, yeah, something like that. I think that she name the racist girl in a full black. But me a yapping now, dog. I'm continue the video.
And put him back in the fridge. But that's just one example. I have a huge list of all the setups that never got paid off in The Boys because of the pacing, but mostly because of the lazy and sloppy writing. In this video, I'm going to break down everything The Boys set up and then just forgot. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed and like the video. Before season 5 came out, we, the naive fans, had believed their marketing lies. We saw promotional pictures of Homelander in space watching the world burn,
them do that?
and we saw Butcher standing in front of the Vought Tower, destroyed. There was even a reference to the iconic comic book panel with an army of soups flying behind Homelander in front of the White House with Butcher walking toward them. None of these things happened in season 5. The actors for Soldier Boy and Homelander
I feel like them should have do something like that. I feel like them should have do something like that. Probably not like follow the story directly from the comics, but I feel like them should do something like that. Like, well, The way how them even, you barely even see soups like that, like group up like that again. So I guess them could even like do that, but them could have probably do something similar, dog. Like bring like Homelander just start kill everybody within a White House, and then Billy them run in and something, dog, something. And then them fuck over the Black Noir. Them could have probably them could have used liquor stuff from the comics. Me not praise the comics or nothing, cause from me hear that shit. But them could have tie in some, dog. Only thing I kinda see them tying at the dog off. Yeah, that's something.
Mentioned in interviews about how they were about to perform the worst acts yet, and that this season was even more disturbing. We got all this hype, they set all these things up, albeit not part of an actual season, but through promotion and through marketing, but they set up the fans for a very disappointing season when none of these things happened. It's like they knew what we wanted to see. They knew we wanted to see Homelander go crazy and start shooting laser beams from space and blowing up cities.
Them say, yo, look how we go do them, watch it. So we go build it up. Homelander, yo, we go build it up like say, yo, I'm gonna crash out, right? I'm gonna crash out, so we go build it up, and then no, him not gonna crash out or do nothing. It kinda in character, say, he might be a little baby bitch when him losing power. But still, before him losing power, them could have make him do some damage, dog. Them could have make him do some damage. Them could have killed some important people. Like, him could have probably like, him already did kill Friendship, but come on, Friendship that never that impactful, dog. Him could have killed somebody else. Like, him could have killed Ryan. Like, fuck Ryan, him could have killed Ryan. Like, him could have make him get a important kill, like a impactful kill. And then dry it out for probably like another 2 episodes where it's like a just vengeance and like, yo, what them a go do? Cause this and that, and them a fight against the clock, and this, yo, them could have do something that, yo, get me in a room, so get me in the writing room.
They knew we wanted to see the destruction of Vought and see an entire city leveled between the battle of Homelander and Butcher, and yet what we got was so flat and disappointing. The budget just didn't allow them to even leave the rooms that they were fighting in.
Not even the room. That's how they want to make criticism, dog. Oh, the man can't leave the room. What you mean? What? Dog, ain't no way Butcher, Octopus, and them a wall back Homelander, brother. And the man shoot Kimiko in her chest, right? Kimiko in her chest. Me know say she have this Deadpool power or something, like she can regenerate and thing and whatever. But not even a scratch. Not even like a push, but nothing. Come on. It more and more me I talk, it sound like me just never like this episode. Well, at the final, it's supposed to be great. But the season did okay. Me, I that word.
First sin and the beginning of what would be a very disappointing final season because of the fact that they wouldn't follow up on what they had set up. And I just mentioned it briefly earlier, but let's talk about this scorched earth that we have been expecting for seasons now. We had been promised this grand epic fight between Homelander and Butcher. Homelander had said in season 3 that if the world...
It was an okay fight. It was like a good fist fight. Like, I've never seen the stakes because them just are like, that never looked like a super powered fight at all.
Turn against him, he would destroy the nerve centers, the Pentagon, the White House, the infrastructure, and just wipe New York off the map. And even after he becomes God in his own eyes, he gets V1 and he becomes his strongest form ever.
The man get V1, and Ryan will hold him down. Dog, you can't defend that, bro.
He did was kill Frenchie off screen and apparently launch a parody Elon Musk to space off screen. All this hype and building up Homelander, even showing a scene of him shooting these powerful...
Like, in the same episode, we see man carry a man go space and come back so quick. But no, Butcher and Ryan will hold him down. What the shit?
Laser beams into the sky after getting the V1 upgrade just for Butcher to dog walk him in a fight. They had always portrayed Homelander as this soup above all soups kind of person. The kind of person that the Seven could gang up on him.
Like, stop say like. Like, why? Like, them coulda, Like, me understand, say, yo, them want show, like, yo, the dichotomy, him feel like him my shit, but actually, him a little bitch baby, like, this in final form. But, you coulda make him man actually use him powers or do something. Cause it come like him man never have no power, like, come like a bombard, he red laser them where you shine on the wall, him man that shoot out time eye, cause that never do chemical shit.
Still be able to fight all of them off. He was the guy that was able to fight Soldier Boy, who was able to depower him alongside Butcher and Huey and still make it out of there alive. Yeah, why is it that after he has V1, which we'll get into later, I know it didn't give him a physical buff in any way, but why is it that Homelander at his strongest peak potential can barely manage a fight with Butcher? And not only that, but this promise of scorched earth and destroying cities, I mean, they could barely destroy the Oval Office.
Friggin' Ryan, you know, bro. The man thump up Ryan like couple episodes ago in the dog. Ryan, you know.
That they were in. They couldn't even destroy the room that they were in, much less the White House, much less the city. They had promised us scorched earth from the beginning. They had promised us Homelander snapping and lasering crowds, and we literally didn't get any of that. We just saw him
come like a bombard, like a hostile drop on her or something, brother. Come on, she can regenerate, but still a Homelander, bro. Like, you know,
and have him broadcast his revelation to all of America and never got to see the payoff that we were all expecting. Okay, so I said I would talk about V1. Let's talk about it. The entire season was built around finding V1. 6 episodes exactly of build-up. And what it gave to Homelander was basically just immunity to the virus. That's it. It was also to stop him from aging, but of course we didn't get to see the effects of that. But the reason why I think this is so disappointing that they didn't give Homelander a physical power-up is because every single V1 user we've seen has been insanely powerful. For example, Soldier Boy and Stormfront, even Bombsight, who only showed up for 1 episode, was very strong. Many of us were expecting V1 to make Homelander even stronger than he was, but it obviously didn't. And again, like I said, with him shooting the laser beams into the sky, they were clearly trying to show us that his powers were more potent now, and it was upgrading his skill set, which we know is his laser beam eyes. But I think they realized that they didn't have the budget to CGI Homelander's powers because that would require them to leave the White House and actually show large levels of destruction, which is why they didn't follow through with Homelander getting more powerful. This is a big problem though. Homelander is supposed to feel more scary after getting V1, not less. And he honestly seemed less scary with V1 because it didn't make him any stronger, and he's still equally scared of losing his powers through Soldier Boy's blast, which Kimiko got. So the fear we were supposed to have by seeing Homelander be invincible and immortal was literally just never existent because we saw Kimiko get the power randomly in the next episode anyway. Alright, so at the end of the episode, we see Butcher install the virus into the Vought Tower sprinkler system, and he intends on killing all the Supes, genocide style, and of course Huey stops him. And that's fine and all, we expected Huey to want to stop Butcher from doing this whole genocide thing, but the problem with this is that Butcher is like low-key kind of right. Even though Homelander is gone, all the bad Supes are still out there. I mean, do we forget that in the last episode they literally said that they had taken psychic Supes out of prison so they could do Homelander's plan, and those psychics were in there for like horrible crimes. It's not like they were thrown back in prison because Stan Edgar is back in charge now. He's just gonna regain control over the Supe industry and everything's gonna go back to bad. So when they showed the ending of Huey and Starlight being able to live in a world where there's no bad Supes, it's just not true. Stan Edgar's in control of Vought again. The only thing that changes, Homelander is gone. But like they've said many times in the show, Homelander is a symptom of the problem. He isn't the problem itself. Vought is the problem. And now that they've gone through Homelander, they'll just figure out how to make another one, but figure out how to actually control him correctly this time. I'm just kind of confused on what exactly the writers thought was a good solution and a good ending to this show. They've made it so clear that Homelander's character is supposed to represent that there is nothing special about him. Everything that was given to him was purely just Compound V and scientists, meaning that they could always just make another one. Also, just a small nitpick, but I don't really understand how they're supposed to clean the virus out of the sprinkler system, especially since Huey doesn't have any connections to anyone inside Vought to tell him to clean the sprinkler system. I mean, how do you even go about it?
Yeah, I think too deep now, dog. Just make that one this thing. Yeah, I think too deep.
safely removing the virus from that. But anyway, that's just a small nitpick. I think the major problem with this is the overall writing of the virus and how it was handled, because it was the main MacGuffin alongside V1 in this season, and then it's kind of shoehorned in at the last second of the finale episode. Soldier
Yeah, but
Boy's
for real though, like what them do with the virus now, like him just call Stan Edgar and say, yo, you know, so the virus they like up in a building and enough to deal with that still, cause if you not deal with that, like suppose like all on a rat or something, run up in it and broke it or just slap it out, I wish for a butcher put it on. Like any little thing can money broke, but you know, as him say a small nitpick like that's not a part of the like major problem.
entire character was forgotten in the finale. I think we can all agree that none of us expected Soldier Boy to be so important in this season, taking up all the screen time of all the other characters, just for him to be frozen again in episode 7.
But did like the cameo episode where the other youth from something they come in. From Supernatural, me did like the episode there, me did like the episode there. Probably I just like the cameo and thing, but it come. And then in the episode, you know, Homelander did kind of look a bit more serious.
Not be involved in the
But I guess I caused him the kind of afraid.
finale at all. As we know and has been pointed out many times before, he was just used as a Vought Rising advertisement this whole show. All the backstories and introducing old characters like Bombsight and Quinn are just to build interest for the prequel show. They literally had no plans of building up Soldier Boy to be an important player in the finale episode, which in my opinion is so dumb considering how much they were trying to build up and give his character depth in those first 7 episodes of the show. Also, of course, we know that Butcher and Huey go to Vought Tower at the end of the episode, and they don't even come across Soldier Boy sleeping in Homelander's room. There's no mention of it. He's probably just there so that he can be reopened for the boys Mexico. And it's such a pity because I really wanted
the boys Mexico, like damn, I'm becoming up on the internet, make like some of them say like me no know about the boys Mexico. Me only hear about this Vought Rising like couple of days ago. Like what really are going?
to see the resolution to his characters within this show and for him to not take up so much of the screen time. Anyway, I'll try not to go too much into this because I feel like it's been said already, but also Gen V and Marie. I mean, what a disrespectful way to utilize those characters.
God. Oh my God. Just drive the truck. Just drive the truck. No power, you don't need to use a power or nothing, just drive the truck. I never watched season 2. Cause you know, season 1 did alright. I never watched season 2, no, just never find time and then I never watched season 2. But still, from when we did see like on YouTube from Wagwan and season 2, them did a hype her up. She did like, yeah, she did like the next Bloodbender or something. But no, what? As she do a drive a truck, she didn't even drive a truck and she just did in the other seat. Like, okay.
They literally come and Starlight says that Marie can't control her powers even though she literally learned how to do that at the end of Gen V season 2. All the characters are there just for cheap cameos and then they just drive off a bunch of people to Canada to get them to safety. Even this would have been like slightly okay if Butcher and Homelander's fight had destroyed half of New York City, but their fight barely singed the lawn of the White House, so it's just so silly in hindsight considering how Starlight was concerned for the Gen V kids and told them to drive away to Canada. Also, with season 3 canceled, it just leaves us with no closure for any of the Gen V characters. So for all of us who watched those 2 seasons of Gen V, I think we can all agree kind of regret it because they were building them up at the end of Gen V season 2 to be like these Teen Titan allies to the boys and then just ended up doing nothing. When they introduced Sister Sage's character in season 4, I genuinely
I think she was okay. I think she was okay. Like, she did some stupid thing for the smartest, for her power to be the smartest though, but like, I guess them, like, I like when I hear them people at them kind of absolute power dog, like, oh, like, them have to find like some stupid ways for like nerf them and thing like them thing there. Well, the clever thing, when should I say, we should have like lobotomized ourselves. Yeah, that is cool, that did smart. But what else she do? She like, why she think that would have worked out? Like, she a work for Homelander and she a plot against him at the same time. She not afraid. Like, him know say she have she and mess up. Like, she never afraid. Like, and then again, well, no, her brain shut off and she gone our Universal, Disney World, Harry Potter.
Think the writers had no idea what her plan was and just threw in a random one at the middle of season 5. In the final episode, she's supposed to be played off as like this neutral anti-hero character that fits in with the boys, and after she loses her power, it's kind of like a joke, she goes to Harry Potter world. For some reason, she doesn't get any consequences for her actions, even though she's literally the one who recommended to Homelander to round up Starlighters and to create the freedom camps. Also, her whole character was that she was the smartest person alive and that she could choose to cure cancer and help people, but she deliberately chose chaos and she wanted to see the world burn and have the soups and the humans fight each other.
She want to live by herself in her bunker. That's what she said.
In her war so that she can go in her bunker and read books. In other words, she's literally a horrible person that just gets to walk off completely free with no consequences from the boys or Homelander, even though she literally caused harm to both sides and hurt innocent people. Like, did the writers just forget that they had Sister Sage help Homelander do horrible things? If she was there to backstab Homelander from the very beginning for good reasons because she wanted to help the world by taking down Homelander, then yeah, sure, you can play it off as she was deceiving Homelander and she's actually a hero because it was all part of her plan to take down Homelander and save the world. But it's not. She's literally just a bad person. Another thing we gotta talk about is the power scaling. In the first episode of season 5, Homelander literally lasers Kimiko in half and it takes her a while to regenerate back, making her incapable.
He might talk about it. He might talk about it. He might talk about it. You know, Kimiko never take no V1, so Kimiko is supposed to be that invulnerable to the thing that even cut her.
To fight him. We've also seen feats of Homelander speed blitzing Soldier Boy of all people. Homelander also teleports to Frenchie in like a split second, showcasing his super speed. He's strong enough to hold off Soldier Boy alongside 10 Feet Butcher and Huey simultaneously, and he was able to escape. And in the finale, he can barely handle Butcher. And yeah, you can add Ryan and Kimiko into the mix, but why was Homelander fighting so stupid? His lasers were like barely damaging Kimiko. They should have been slicing her in half.
Literally.
And in the beginning, when he was fighting Butcher, he should have been slamming him across the walls, and Butcher should have barely been able to hold on to life before Ryan came in. And if we literally compare the fights with someone else, Bombsight could literally knock out Butcher out cold, whereas Homelander with V1 was trying to run away from Butcher in a 1v1. Now, this isn't technically power scaling, but this is like intelligence scaling. Starlight is supposed to be pretty intelligent. So tell me why, when she flew and picked up the Deep, she landed in literally the worst place to bring him, the shore, next to the ocean. Yes, we the audience know that the ocean
but she didn't know that,
so it's actually a weakness for him.
I don't think she didn't want to kill him. Probably she just want to get him one time where like ease off from your bug or something, like, you know, cause him annoying. I don't think she didn't want to kill him.
Starlight doesn't know that. In any other scenario, she would be like, oh, I'm going to take you as far away from the water and we're going to fight on land and see how you can fight for yourself. And also, when she blasts him with his powers, she blasts him towards the ocean, which, yes, again, that's the reason why he dies. But Starlight doesn't know that he's weak to the water at that point. Could you get any lazier with your writing than this? Okay, so we know that Ryan is the first natural-born Supe, and this was very important. In fact, he was the only natural-born Supe. Unfortunately, this concept doesn't really get explored much further. He has Homelander's powers, but other Supes also can pass down their powers genetically, like Translucent Sun is also invisible. So I thought the only unique part about it was that Ryan wouldn't be able to lose his powers through a Soldier Boy blast because he didn't get his powers through Compound V. He got it naturally. However, in the finale, this isn't true because Ryan does lose his powers through Kimiko's blast. But this doesn't make that much sense because in the season 3 finale, the reason why Butcher turns on Soldier Boy and wants to protect Ryan is because he's scared that Soldier Boy will kill Ryan with his blast. But now we've seen Soldier Boy use his power on Bombsight, and we've also seen Kimiko use it on Ryan, Sister Sage, Butcher, and Homelander. And in all these times, it doesn't actually damage the person. It slightly harms them, but it just takes away their powers and they get to live afterward. So in the season 3 finale, Butcher could have just let Soldier Boy do his thing and Homelander and Ryan would have just lost their powers. Initially, we thought that the reason why Soldier Boy couldn't use his powers on Ryan is because it would kill him, because that kind of depowering
Probably them forget, dog. Probably them forget. Why me keep on and press the button there, dog? Probably them forget. Probably I forget them forget.
would kill a natural born soup, not just take it away. So now that
No,
we
I
see
show them not be a sales, it's a big bombard company. Them should have know better than that. I know the team I work on, the boys, huge.
that Ryan can just lose his powers just like any other soup, and that being a natural born soup isn't very unique at all, other than the fact that he shares the same genetic powers as Homelander, well, it kind of just makes Ryan feel like he wasn't that unique after all. Another thing is Butcher's cancer. He got cancer from overusing Temp V, and that cancer eventually physically manifested as his powers as the tentacles in season 5. But after he depowered, the cancer didn't come back. So if the cancer and the powers were symbiotic, then after he lost his powers, he should have just had a massive tumor in his head again. So I guess this doesn't really go anywhere. I think they just forgot that Butcher had cancer. The Seven as a whole is pretty much forgotten in this season completely. I think it's a part of
remember nothing about the Seven. You know, remember the Seven? When Homelander ball and say, I'll give you the Seven. I said, the Seven? Oh yeah, the team, da 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 da.
Reason why this season just felt so empty, because in the past the Seven were a large part of the show and the plot. Most of them were combat based, so they were the ones fighting the boys, and then the Seven eventually just became mostly everyone useless except for Homelander, and then with the addition of Soldier Boy in season 5, which mostly just
like,
meant
who
that it
were
was
the Seven? Like, who were the Seven in a season 5? Homelander, Soldier Boy, I guess you can say the Deep, that guy. Black Noir. I don't even know if I can, cause them never really that showcase. I know it's just a Homelander show for real, which me not mind.
Homelander and Soldier Boy and not the Seven. It's also why the Deep and Black Noir's character arcs were just so uninteresting this season, because there wasn't the Seven. They didn't have their typical meetings and missions that were important. It was really just Homelander and Soldier Boys doing their own individual mission to get V1. They had also built up this idea that Homelander's plan was really going to destroy America and hurt a lot of people. And we got to see exactly 0 innocent civilians basically hurt throughout the season 5 from Homelander. Homelander declared himself as God to all of America. He killed the president and took over the White House, and yet we don't see the reaction of the world and the public to any of this, which we used to see before in previous seasons. They just basically completely forgot to show us the aftermath of Homelander. Even after Homelander dies, Vought is apparently fine and just keeps operating. There's no public revolt against the idea of soups. Vought doesn't have to take any accountability. The world really just moves on as if that isn't a huge thing to see Homelander take over the White House and then die on live TV. And then we just cut to Huey and Starlight happy ever after, no problems whatsoever, even though Vought and all the other evil soups are still out there. And finally, let's just finish with a list of plot holes / rushed points
see what's
that I can
happening.
just pull it down and break
all right,
for you.
let's see
Stan Edgar back as Vought CEO despite being arrested.
Nobody neck here, dog. Nobody neck here.
We don't get to see a resolution to his
that's how it works. Nobody neck here. Him rich and
character or any consequences for his actions. MM still having all the White House blueprints despite being captured and stripped of everything for a year is never explained and technically a plot hole. The psychic soups that were introduced this season were never resolved. We don't know what happened to them. Ryan ending up with MM is kind of wholesome but also kind of random because they've shared like maybe 2 lines across 5 seasons. Newman's entire political arc was built up as a major threat for seasons and now just seems so silly and stupid because Homelander killed the president and somehow that wasn't an important plot point at all. We literally just moved on from that as if it was nothing. Same thing with the soup registration program and the political world building. All those seasons of groundwork just kind of went nowhere. We also don't get to see the public's reaction to Starlight and whether or not they changed sides. What happened to all the Homelanders? What do they think of his public execution? And how do most of America respond to Starlight just being free now? So many questions and not too many answers I can give. So
they would say, yeah, I think too much. I understand though, them should have do more than that, dog. Like, come on, you should do more than that. But that was the video. Let me know what you think. Them should have do more, as me say. Great video by Jonathan, just Jonathan, guys. Bye bye.